So as you can see, we got our bike out today. We're gonna do a little bit of cycling and feeling decent today. I always do my best runs after a good cycling session, so I don't plan on doing nothing too crazy today, but I definitely want to get the legs rolling. About 25 miles, maybe 30. This week has been really good training. The last 2 weeks have been really good training. I've been kind of up and down with my marathon training in the beginning of this year, but it is spring and we're heading into some good weather now. The marathon is in about a month. Such a big difference between like thinking you can do a marathon and then training to do a marathon and then getting back into shape. So my 20-mile run last week kicked my butt, and it almost like hurt like I did the marathon. And you know, part of it was I did a lot of hills last week, and so that was a major contributor to how I felt. But Pittsburgh is a very hilly marathon, so you know, you actually need hill training, and boy did I do some hill training last week. It was tough. So with that being said, getting back into shape and realizing that you need a lot more work made me realize that I definitely got to put in a little bit more work over the next couple weeks. Now, I know that it is highly improbable, or it's highly, how would I say that? It's probably not possible to meet the sub-4 goal for the Pittsburgh Marathon. I also didn't train for that goal right now. You know, my goal right now is just to finish this marathon, see where my fitness is, and then take notes, because in the fall I plan on going for the sub-4 marathon. So this marathon is more like a fitness test for me, and my first marathon of the year. Now, will I do a triathlon this year? I don't know. I really don't know. That one thing that people don't talk about with triathlon training, and I only did the half. It is a different type of training. It's different levels of training. So I use burnout a lot, but I kind of like met my limit with triathlon training. For me, just getting back into a training block, I have to kind of put myself in a position where I'm, you know, this whole year just falling back in love with doing the things that I love to do. And not saying that triathlon isn't something that I love to do. Like, I can't wait until I get my sub-4 hour marathon, because then next year, you know, the plan is this year, 2026, I plan on just strictly focus on running, getting my running better, and get the sub-4 hour marathon. If I achieve the sub-4 marathon this year in 2026, all next year is triathlon, and I'm doing a 70.3, and then I'm also doing a full Ironman. But I have to get this sub-4 hour goal. I feel like I've ran, I've cycled, I've swum, I've done all of the things. I've did a 70.3. My first triathlon ever was a 70.3. You know, my first marathon was a full marathon, and I've knocked off all of these goals. You know, all of these 5Ks, all of these 10Ks, all of these personal PRs, but the one goal that I have just never gotten to, the PR goal that I'm chasing, I've been chasing for years, is the sub-4 hour marathon. And I've gotten a personal best in the you know, I've sub 2 hour the half marathon. I've PR'd, my 5K. I've done all of the cool things except for getting myself for our marathon. And I want to focus on that goal before I start trying to get all of these other goals. And, that's just where I'm at with it right now. This year, it's just focus on marathoning. That's not to say that next year I won't do a marathon, but I got 3 races this year. Two races that I can get myself for a marathon at, and that's the Columbus and that's the Lake Erie. I actually think I'm going to do both of them. I'll be I'll be in a really, really fit place around that time, especially just giving it my all when it comes to training, leading up to both of those races. And so those are the 2 races. So which actually puts me in an interesting position, because that means that I'll do 3 full marathons this year, and that would bring me up to 10 full marathons total, which is like crazy. But that's the goal for this year. That's the goal. That's what we're aiming for. And
hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them blow. Only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them blow. Go, go. I got about 100 reasons to leave the party, but I will not. Got a lot of meaning to get to you when I'm in a spot. Thought about what's the season. Oh yeah, summer feeling so hot. I could burn in my slumber, turn the lights off and let the beat drop. I'm the meanest rapper, meaning I feed on rappers a lot. I'm obscene, I need not encouragement. This the courage I got. Got a buzz going, so people heard of me, then I pop. Kinda was going. How you gonna tell me I gotta stop? Start another trend, and if you wanna get in on the ground floor, then what you holding up the wall standing around for? Call up my people and I know what they down for. We can stay up all night long, land home around 4. I'm on the land from my daytime lifestyle. We be going ham like cheese in a slice style. There's something about the nighttime like to feel nice out. So if you're still at home, I'm right outside the door like knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Yeah. First name, put your last hands in the air. Yeah, yeah. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? First name, put your hands in the air. Yeah. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them blow. Only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them blow. Only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them blow. Only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them blow. Go, go, go. I'm independent, I write them into my pen. If you want to party tonight, put them in the air like a pennant. I blow with the breeze, flow with the ease, and eat all my spinach. I'm cold, I'm low in degrees, I can freeze a fiend in a minute. Demeaning rappers to me is too easy, need a new image. So many biters around, I should quit and become a dentist. Anyways, if you're feeling tight from your 9 to 5 and want to cut loose and take a kind of ride, I'll be happy to accommodate, come on inside and put your hands where I can see them, that's my kind of vibe. I want a crib with a pool, a garden, and promenade.
That's time to hit the work. So today the main focus was just to get a quick little workout in. I had a strength training session today, and the majority of things that I've just been focused on is, like I said, I'm trying to find my love back for fitness. So I'm just revisiting all of the things that I tried and that I love to do, that I felt like doing when I was on my journey to losing weight. So one of the things that I absolutely loved to do when I was losing weight and when I was on my journey to being fit was kettlebells. I love kettlebell workouts. I mean, that's one thing that I absolutely love is kettlebell workouts. And they were really good for me because they were functional workouts. They allowed me to add movement in along with lifting weight. Other than squats, I've never been the big fit weightlifting guy. Like, I've never been that guy that's like putting up 225 and all these things. Like, I tried it multiple times, but other than like squatting, I really love squatting. I've grown to love RDLs and deadlifts, but benching has never been my strong suit. And so I've tried to bench a little bit more often with a lighter weight than than usual, but I do want to get to the point where I can put up 225 for multiple times and see what actually I can do there. I never really tried to. I know that I got to 2 plates on each side, 45s on each side, and building up my strength in that way, but I never really put the time that's needed to really build my upper body and strength. And for me, I know I have the genetics to do it. When I was lifting, when I was doing a lot of lifting, when I was on my weight loss journey, I can definitely see that I was able to get a lot of definition in my arms, and I for sure have a lot of definition in my legs, especially in my calves. And so I know I have certain genetics that allow me to build muscle, but I've never really gave it 100% effort to figure out what's my capacity in that aspect. So that's a big thing for me, is to find out my capacity in some of these aspects, but also just grow back to love weightlifting and love what I'm doing. That's one of the biggest things for me, is just finding that love back for fitness. So kettlebell is one of those things that I love doing. I love learning the movements and learning how to do some of these workouts, because they're very complex. Some kettlebell workouts are very, very complex, and so that was like big for me to figure out like how to do some of those workouts and add it into my training. Monday, we did our workout on Monday. We did our 20. We had 23 on the books. We ended up doing 20 on the treadmill, and part of it was just I had to switch it up. Mondays are usually the days where I spend with my little guy, and we usually go walking, or we usually some days he just wants to go chill with his grandma, and then I'll use that time to go back to the gym. And unfortunately, he wanted to spend time with his grandma, but not unfortunate for me, because I love the fact that him and my mom have a really good relationship. But it was cool because I was able to get my workout in. But with that being said, I did do 20 miles on the treadmill, and like I said, I broke it up because I had to take him to school. So after I dropped him off, I got on the treadmill and did 13. And then after then, I had to do some running around, just do my errands. Monday is the day that I'm off of work, so that's a good time to catch up on some of the clerical work from some of my businesses. And then after that, we jump right into picking. My wife will pick him up, and then me and him will get together, and then we'll do our next adventure. So like I said, he went with my mom that time, and then I got to the gym and I was able to finish off the 7. So today what I did was I did my lifting workout, and I did a little bit of kettlebells, and then tonight, and then I did the stair stepper as well. And then I'll come back tonight and finish off my run, hop in the sauna. The goal over the next couple of weeks is put as much stress on my body as possible, so that I'll be ready for the race. Like I said, the goal, we're not racing this race. We're seeing where our fitness levels lie, because we're coming back stronger for a sub 4 in Columbus. And then also we're going to be ready for Lake Erie. So that's the main focus this week, and we're on to the next week. Let's get this thing done.